So we're gonna do the blessing the speech meditation. I love doing blessing the speech, and it's such an unlikely meditation. You would never have thought, who would think that you'd do a meditation to bless your speech? It sounds funny, doesn't it? But when we understand it, it really makes unbelievable sense when we realize the mess we do with our speech. Like I say, most of us don't go around killing and raping and stealing too often, but our speech is what we do the problems. It's really quite profound when we think about it. So we're going to bless our speech. There's different ways for speeches. I talk about the power of speech. The greatest gift to human beings actually is speech. You think about this advice, you can feed somebody every day for 10 years, but one piece of spiritual advice can help transform their lives. This is really clear. We know that. So it's very beneficial. Speech is so powerful. So how do you work with your speech? The first one, how do you make your speech powerful? You shut up and don't say bad words. It's as simple as that. Next one is you do practices like this that enhance your speech, by saying mantra. Like I described, this is part of the meditation. I could just think about, in the Vajrayana description of reality, we've got this subtle physical energy, the subtle channels, a subtle nervous system, really. And then coursing through those channels is all these different prana or wind energy. This is the Tibetan medical system. It's similar to the Chinese one. It's the Ayurvedic one. It's been around for centuries. It used to be the one back in our day, back in the Western style. And these wind energies are connected to our different states of mind. So even just thinking positive thoughts, first of all, programs your mind with positive thoughts. But even just thinking positive thoughts also purifies the wind energy, which is your subtle body. And that karmically produces good health in the future. This is literally how karma works. It's very fascinating. So speech is more powerful, isn't it? Because speech is sound, and that's wind energy. That's the sound. And the purest sound, they all say this, is the Sanskrit sounds. And so we're going to be doing this practice. Literally, it's reciting the Sanskrit syllables, the pieces of sound that make up the words. So this little visualization we do, I love doing this meditation. So Matt, let's get the meditation up. And I'll lead it. You just do the visualizing, and then just open your eyes and to say the syllables if you haven't memorized them yet. Okay. So just do the little refuge prayer together. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I take refuge, means I rely upon the Buddha, his teachings, and the Sangha, our spiritual community. May I become a fully developed being so I can be of benefit to all sentient beings. So now just meditate. I'll lead you in the meditation. So now if you've taken an empowerment, you out of emptiness, you manifest as that deity. If not, you just visualize above your crown, you visualize Shakyamuni Buddha, like in the aspect of the monk, like the statue behind me, He's sitting in cross-legged on a seat, a lotus actually. And it's a manifestation of completely subdued body, speech, and mind. That's the meaning of this visualization, this aspect of the Buddha, totally subdued, disciplined body, speech, and mind. So you visualize Buddha above your crown. Feel the presence of the Buddha, subtle light body. And if you do have a spiritual teacher, a spiritual mentor, this word mentor, I found, I look up the definition of a mentor. It's probably the best word in English, I'd say, as the equivalent of a spiritual teacher or lama or guru. And I think the definition is a mentor. The definition is an accomplished and trusted advisor. That's a perfect definition of a lama, a guru, a spiritual mentor. So if you have one of them, if you feel close to some person whom you see as the Buddha, you imagine it's their mind manifesting as the Buddha for your benefit above your crown. Visualize this, feel this. Then you now think, you imagine, on your tongue is the Sanskrit syllable ah. Of course, if you know the language, you do that. Otherwise, just the Roman letters AH on your tongue, sitting upright. And then it turns into a moon disc, like a flat white cushion on your tongue. And then on top of the moon disk is a white Om, O-M, standing upright. And surrounding it, going clockwise, are all the Sanskrit vowels. Of course, we don't know them, so we just have to pretend, you know, what to do. Standing upright, going clockwise, white. And then surrounding them, going counterclockwise, are the red consonants. And then surrounding them are the blue dependent related heart mantra syllables, or the, as you know, that would be, as Rinpoche calls it, that's really the syllables of the mantra of dependent arising, which is the method for realizing emptiness, to get wisdom. So you can just imagine these syllables clockwise surrounding the other two lots, and they're blue, like sort of like the sky, blue like the sky, all on your tongue. So now imagine light beams go out, radiate out from all these syllables. And you can imagine them in the same colors, you know, the white, the red, and the blue, going out to all the 10 directions, meaning north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, and up and down. That's 10 directions. They go out from all these syllables to all the directions of the universe. Radiant, radiant, you know, beams of light. And they hook, imagine going right out. And what it does, you imagine, is hooking the blessings and the power of the pure, powerful, perfect speech of all the holy beings, all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, all the sages, all the yogis, even all the ordinary people who purified their speech, you know, all these blessings and all the power of all of these syllables hooks this. And as Rinpoche says, this includes the power of speech. You have all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, all the holy beings who have actualized the words of truth and who have great power in their speech. So due to the power of abiding in silence, of living in the morality of abstaining from negative karma of speech, their words have so much power. And then because of this, whatever they want, whatever they aspire for, it will bring success. So all the blessings of all this power, of all these holy beings, comes back now in these with these beams of light. It comes, absorbs into the syllables on your tongue, making them amazing and powerful and radiant. Imagine this. So now we recite the vowels. As we recite them, we visualize white nectar flowing down from those syllables, filling your entire body, completely purifying all the negative karma that we've created with our bodies. That means, you know, the killing, the taking, the ungiven, the harming others, taking things, abusing others. It may be cheating, you know, using our bodies based on sexual attachment to cheat on our partners, to harm others. All of these actions that we do with our bodies since beginningless time. Try and imagine all of that. All of these actions, the karmic imprints left in our mind from these actions. We imagine that all this nectar filling us completely purifies all these karmic seeds, totally purifies them as we recite 3 times. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, svaha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, svaha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, svaha. Totally purifying. Totally feeling you. Amazing. And now we'll recite Matt will get the document up and again in a minute, just visualizing full of this blissful white nectar. And now we do the consonants. As you recite the consonants, red nectar flows down from the letters, fills your entire body. Imagine this, filling you completely, this blissful red nectar, totally purifying all the negative karma we've ever created with our speech. And this is really pretty straightforward. What does that mean? It means saying words that aren't true. Even I would say, we don't intentionally lie, but I think we're so loose with our speech, and there's so much vomiting out there. Look at all the internet, just words pouring out, utter insane, crazy belief systems, all these conspiracy theories, and everybody, our own tendency, even in our lives, I think, is just to blurt out anything we've heard and read. We don't even know if it's true. We just speculate 90% of the time. This is all speech, So all of this nonsense pours out of our mouths with no certainty that it's right. Then you've got harsh speech, abusing people. Then you've got kind of just rabbiting on about nothing, just essenceless nonsense. It just weakens your speech. And then, of course, one of our favorites, I think, is talking bad things about people behind their backs, which is much of what we do. So we're just ordinary people. We're not talking like Hitlers here. And this is a surprise to us because in our culture, we think, well, this is normal. You're allowed to do that. I'm allowed to say what I like, we think, because we actually genuinely do not think that speech that's inappropriate, harsh speech, etc., that it actually, this is the point now, we don't think it affects us. We might know it harms others, but the point here is not only does our speech harm others, but we're talking at the most fundamental level, this produces the person we become. This pollutes our mind, creates future karma, distresses us. I mean, it's like it's so clear when we understand this. So we are the first beneficiary of harnessing our speech, subduing our own mind. It's so obvious if we think about it. So imagine all this delicious red nectar filling us completely, purifying all this rubbish pouring out of our mouths and all the karmic imprints left in our mind from all the countless negative speech in the past. Of course, this is mostly as humans, isn't it? When the animals do a bit of loud noises, but it's not much. We're so clever with our speech because our minds are so sophisticated. All of this purified so happily as we recite the syllables. Matt, all I can see is a tiny little column of words. I don't know about everybody else. Well, I know it. Hope all of you can see it. Can you all see it? Can somebody just nod to me? Can you see it? No, we can't see it, Matt.
Sorry, I'm having some computer troubles, Bimble. Let's see if I can get it fixed.
Just focus on the red nectar filling you. Totally wanting and aspiring, to control our speech, not to pollute our minds and our own speech and our own health, and to not harm others. This red nectar filling us completely. Well, I'll say, no, we'll wait for Matt to come. Just contemplate. Thinking, I mean, like I said before, the surprise about this is we don't think in our world, that speech is just, we say, I'm allowed to say what I like. We say that, and what that means is, it's very powerful words. Think about this. What that means is we assume there are no consequences. It's like saying, I'm allowed to I'm allowed to sow poison seeds in my garden. You would not say that. You're allowed to, but because a seed will bring a fruit, who cares if you're allowed to? You don't want to. So that's the point here. We wouldn't want to do it if we understand that every word we say leaves an imprint in the mind, and produces future experiences for me, forget what it does to others. So now as we recite these letters, we so happily imagining this nectar filling and purifying us. Om ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja nya ta ta da dana, ta 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 dana, pa pa ba ba ma, yada lava, shasha sa haksa svaha. Om ka 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 ganga, cha 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 janya, ta 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 dana, ta 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 dana, pa pa ba ba ma, yada lava, shasha sa haksa svaha. Om ka 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 ganga, cha 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 janya, ta 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 dana, ta 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 dana, pa pa ba ba ma, yada lava, shasha sa haksa svaha. Full of this red nectar, completely, head to toe. All the rubbish of our speech, all the karmic imprints, totally purified. All the abuse, all the negativity, the angry speech, the hurting speech. We know once we've said it, it's too late to bring it back, but at least we can purify the karmic imprints and wish not to do it again. Imagine this. So now we visualize, we recite the next syllables. This time the blue dependent related heart mantra, the mantra of dependent arising. We, as we recite these syllables, blue nectar fills us, pours down from these letters, fills us completely. And this time, purifying the source of all the problems, which is our mind, in which part of our mind, the delusions, the neuroses, the misconceptions, the ignorance that believes in the intrinsic me in the first place, then the attachment to get what that me wants, then the aversion and the panic attack of anger when it doesn't get what it wants. And these are the three are the root of all the others: the jealousy, the resentment, the arrogance, the low self-esteem, all of these minds. We know them so well. All of these are why our body does things that harm others, and it's why our speech does things to harm others. It's so obvious. So as we recite them, as Matt gets it up on the screen again, we can imagine feeling this blue nectar filling us completely, totally purifying all our ridiculous parts of our mind, that are the source of our own pain and the cause of why we harm others. Now we say them together. Okay, great. Om ye dhamma hetu pabhava hetun te shan tatakato ievadat te shan chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamana ye svaha. Om ye dhamma hetu pabhava hetun te shan tatakato ievadat te shan chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamana ye svaha. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shan tatagato ievadat te shan chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamanaye svaha. Remember these, we might know the meaning of these, each syllable, each word, but remember that they're saying that these sounds themselves are powerful. The configuration of these sounds are powerful, pure. We might have to look into that. It mightn't be evident to us, but this is how they talk. So now, be so delighted that all the ego grasping and the fear that comes from that, and the attachment and the emotional hunger, and all the manipulation to get what we want, all the dissatisfaction, all the aversion, the upset, irritation, annoyance, anger, all of these are, aspects of aversion. When attachment doesn't get what it wants, the low self-esteem, which is a flip side of arrogance, all the worries and dramas we have, imagine they're all annihilated, totally gone, full of this radiant blue nectar. The mind joyful, even just to think this. So happy. And so now we visualize, we imagine the dependent related heart mantras, on the syllables on our tongue dissolve into the red consonants. And the red consonants dissolve into the white vowels. And the white vowels dissolve into the Om. And the Om dissolves into the moon disk. And then the moon disk turns into an R. And this then turns into pink colored nectar, which dissolves into our tongue. Our tongue becomes indestructible. It sounds so curious, isn't it? Nothing can harm or take away or destroy the power of mantra, say, for example, the sounds that you recite. And then have very strong confidence that all the power and the blessings of the speech of all the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the sages, the yogis have entered your speech, and that your speech is now perfected. Think, I have perfected my speech. What that means is, as Rinpoche says, the minute that sentient beings hear your speech, even if it's your laugh, even if it's saying good morning, immediately it helps them. We know this. One kind word from one person can make such a difference to us. We know this is true. So whatever sound you make, it can be very articulate and intelligent. It can be just smiling and friendly. It will be of benefit to whoever hears it. This is incredible. This is the power of speech, Imagine this. So happy to have this. And also because in our lives, we need speech. We have to work with people. We have families. We have colleagues. You go to a shop, you ask for something. If your speech is not, if people don't like your speech, if you've got the karma from past lying, people won't believe you. If you have the karma from past gossiping and rabbiting on about nothing, no one will even hear what you say. They won't value your speech. This is the way it is. But if your speech is more powerful, people will hear you, listen to you, do your wishes, and things get done, Speech is the way we communicate. So it's so clear. It's got incredible potential, both for harm and for good. So be so happy about this. Delighted. So your speech becomes now marvelous. And all your recitations or your mantras purify your mind and have more merit, millions of times more benefit, thinking like this. So happily we think this way. And now we dedicate. And the little prayer just here. May my tongue, this prayer is so curious, isn't it? May my tongue have all the courage of the ones gone to bliss. By the power manifesting from these glorified words, may all sentient beings be subdued. And whatever words I say, may all these actions be accomplished instantly. Okay, people, that's about it. Thank you, darling ones. Happy to be back. Not that it looks any different. I've been using the same picture for 3 months, haven't I? I'm still using the same picture. I didn't go home last night. I slept the night with Matt. I'm confessing. Right. I stayed in Charmaine's bed because she's now helping her mummy in Los Angeles. Okay, darlings, happy to see you all. Happy to be wherever I am in the world. I'll see you all soon again next time, and keep moving, and never give up, and never give up, and never give up. All right.
So happy to see you.